Famous human rights record and has only ever had one leader since its creation as an independent country after the Soviet era, Islam Karimov. The regime is cloaked in secrecy and many organisations, including the BBC, are banned in Uzbekistan. There have, however, been reports that Karimov's own daughter and once rumoured successor, Gulnara Karimova, is under house arrest in the capital. So what exactly is going on? Natalia Antalava has been in touch with the president's grandson.
She's a pop star, a businesswoman, a philanthropist, and the daughter of one of the world's most brutal dictators. The real Uzbekistan isn't so glamorous. It's a police state, so isolated that human rights groups often compare it to North Korea. In the last decade, it's been in the headlines for a massacre of civilians in 2005, child labour in cotton fields, and brutal torture in prisons.
Some people are killed like this, they're boiled alive.
I think a lot of people have been killed due to torture with hot water.
Presiding over it all is this man, Islam Karimov, in charge since the Soviet days. Karimov doesn't give interviews and he has banned the BBC. Last time I went to Uzbekistan, I was detained and deported. But now, Islam Karimov has asked to see me in central London. Not the president Islam Karimov, but his grandson, who is named after him. He tells me he's in trouble.
It's very difficult for me, myself, because I became the target, an enemy. Basically, I'm fighting a whole regime.
Fighting on behalf of his mother. Once the favorite first daughter, Gulnara, has fallen out with her father and is, she says, under house arrest.
The main reason for her downfall would be that she was a risk or a threat to the group of people and their interests, or taking power or personal gain.
Like her father, Gulnara did not give interviews. But for about a year, she and I exchanged messages on Twitter. She said her father's security forces were after her.
Do you realize how bizarre this story of your family is?
I, of course, understand how bizarre the situation is, and it makes things more complicated, that this never happened in the world before.
It's very Shakespearean.
Yeah. It's actually, I think he would like it if he lived in Uzbekistan. Shakespeare.
Shakespeare would like Uzbekistan.
It would be an inspiration for him, for many other works.
These are the latest pictures of the woman once labelled the Uzbek princess. They show her under what she says is house arrest. The photos were smuggled out of Uzbekistan and passed on to me along with audio recordings in which Gulnara says that she and her 16-year-old daughter, held with her, are being denied food and medication.
We are held in the house, and basically we can't step outside. We kept in the conditions worse than dogs.
This is a murky battle for power and succession, and his grandson speculates that the president may no longer be in charge.
I can't really say if he's losing power or not. I would like to put it as he is losing the grip of exactly what is happening. At one point he told all of us, okay, I want a connection to the internet, I want a computer, I want to learn how to use it. And basically my grandmother, the day I taught him how to use the computer, she took me aside and she said, are you crazy? What if he reads the internet and he will know everything? So I came home to him, and I realized the internet cable was just plugged in but not completely into the computer, and my grandmother told me, leave it at that, just say the internet is not working in the world, something like this.
So the most powerful man in the country can't get online?
Yeah.
That's insane.
Because of his wife.
But the mood changes when he tells me that security services have tried to kill him and his mother.
Also, me and her got poisoned. We were poisoned 2 years ago, around 2 years ago, by heavy metals. and I found only around 6 metals, the traces of 6 metals in my body, but she had much more.
Gulnara, he says, was treated for poisoning. Like everything in this story, it's impossible to verify them independently. But there is plenty of evidence that shows that over the years, thousands of people have suffered in the hands of Uzbek security. Last month, Human Rights Watch put out a report documenting new, appalling abuses in Uzbek prisons.
Do you ever think that she's quite lucky to be under house arrest? She's quite lucky not to be in an Uzbek prison.
People sometimes don't understand the psychological and physical aspect of the house arrest.
But have you ever imagined what it's like when you're waterboarded, boiled, tortured?
Of course, it's
These are
atrocities.
things that are
horrific.
happening
Yeah.
in Uzbek prisons.
Of
Do you
course,
think about it?
Yeah, of course I have made thought, and of course it's horrific, and it shouldn't happen anywhere in the world.
And yet he has this plea for his grandfather, the man who has for years allowed atrocities to happen.
I hope when you see this program, you will understand the extent of the manipulation around you, and you know deep inside that we would never go against you, we would never do what they said we would do. And I really hope you will fix the situation, and I know you have the power to do so.